Alright guys, so in this video we're going to talk about probably one of the most important things I'll ever touch up on this channel, and that is being influenced and then being the influencer. So what do I mean by that? You could probably take a guess. So there will be times in your life where outside circumstances, like something randomly pops up, and then you feel inclined to do something or act a certain way or perform a certain action just because of like the situation that's being presented to you. So to make it a little bit more relatable, like let's say this is like, I think this is something everyone can relate to, where you're like walking in the hallway or like some sort of narrow, linear space, and someone's walking on the other end, and you're kind of worried like, oh, what if I walk into them, or like I don't know which way to go or whatever. So in order to combat that, you would just stop and then like look around or act like you're busy doing something, and then just let the person walk past you. Now, it seems like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but like I think it contributes to like a problem a lot of people have, that is not knowing who they are in like their position. That may seem a little bit vague, but basically what I'm saying is like there are people in this world who are completely unshaken by any sort of outside circumstances. Like something happens in real life and they just like, it doesn't affect them because their character is so sturdy. They don't let things that they don't want to be influenced by influence them. So in that situation, the person would just walk normally, not even think about it. But you can't do that yet. So what you would do is that you would think about it and be like, well, I'm just going to go in this direction, and whatever happens, happens. It's kind of like it's kind of like cold approaching. You know, you kind of like go into it without expecting like epic results or whatever. You kind of just do it for the sake of like getting that discipline in, of like changing the way you live your life. This may seem a little bit confusing, but hopefully I'm doing a good job explaining this. And it might be like the number one thing I try to promote on this channel is don't let things that you don't want to be influenced by influence you. So like there are good influences, neutral influences, and like bad influences. A good influence would be like someone like me, or like another self-improvement YouTuber, or like a piece of entertainment that like contributes to like your growth and your journey. Bad influences, easy one, alcohol, marijuana. Maybe marijuana isn't the best example because I already know a lot of people feel very strongly about marijuana, but let's say another drug like smoking. I think we could all agree smoking's bad. So that would be like bad influences, but these are more on small scale. So like, let's say there's someone that like you're kind of awkward around, like maybe you're nervous or whatever, and you see them like at the store. So instead you were going to go in the aisle they were in, but like since they're there, you decide to go to a different aisle. Next time something like this happens, just think, okay, this is the time where I need to actually do what I'm trying to do, and that is to get where the fuck I need to get in that aisle, even if she's there or not, or he or whoever. Like whoever you feel nervous around. Maybe it's like you have beef with someone and they're there. Don't let that stop you from going in there and getting your shit, because you will start to gain respect for yourself. You'll almost become more of like a confident individual if you don't let things like that influence your way of living. So for me personally, things like my stepdad, I don't really like being around him. He makes me feel kind of like nervous when I'm around him, which is a whole other thing I might do in another video. But let's say he's like in the living room and like I don't want to go out there because he's there, and I was going to go out there and make food. Back then I would just stay in my room until like he leaves or does something else, but now I'll just go out there because that's what I planned on doing. That is my character, is that I felt like going out there and making some food, and just the fact he's there shouldn't change that. I'm not letting that influence me. Now, reading like a book or something, I'll let that influence me. If I want to read a book and I'm listening to the ideas and shit, like I'll let that influence me. You almost have to have like an intuition of this stuff, of like how it's going to influence you and things like that. Honestly, I might make it like kind of like my channel slogan because of how important this concept is. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it. It's kind of like a take control of your life thing. Like, you want your life to be a certain way, even if it's like a small degree, like going out to the store, going to that certain aisle and like getting that item or whatever. That's how you wanted your life to be in that brief moment. So if you live that, you're going to feel like you're in more control of your life, which makes you feel more secure, which is going to make you feel better about yourself. You'll start to have a more unshaken character, and you can progressively overload this too. So maybe you could start with small things like, I don't like going outside in the daytime because there's a lot of people out. I have social anxiety. You can start off with something like that, and then it could build all the way up to, I'm going to ask my crush out. Things like that. Just doing things that make you uncomfortable, but you power through them anyway. I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm really going to try to emphasize this notion in my channel because I think it's super important. It's one of the most important things in self-improvement, in my opinion. Just having that drive to change your life the way you see fit, I think is super important. All right, so that's going to be it, guys. Take care.